We've all heard the question a million times, right? Who would win in a fight? But what if that's completely the wrong question? What if the most powerful crossover isn't about who throws the stronger punch, but about which reality breaks first? Today, we're going to explore what happens when Superman doesn't just visit the Star Wars galaxy, he fundamentally breaks it.
So just think about it. What happens when a hero, an absolute icon from a totally different reality, suddenly finds himself in the Star Wars galaxy? And at the same time, what if the most powerful beings in that galaxy ran smack into a force so alien, so fundamental, that their entire understanding of reality just becomes instantly obsolete? Now, let's just get this out of the way. This isn't going to be about who's got stronger laser beams or who can punch harder. This is not a battle story. No, this is a collision of systems. It's about what happens when one reality, with its whole own set of rules, just crashes head-on into another. It's about a metaphysical system, the Force, confronting an entity that simply does not play by its rules. To really wrap our heads around this, we first have to understand why Superman isn't just, another powerful alien. In the context of Star Wars, he is a walking, talking paradox. Imagine the moment. He awakens under a yellow sun. His cells just ignite with power. And at that exact instant, all across the galaxy, from Yoda on Coruscant to Palpatine on his throne, every single Force-sensitive being feels it. But it's not light, it's not dark, it's just this immense, crushing pressure. Something totally new is here. And this brings us to this brilliant concept from science fiction, the outside context problem. Superman is that problem. See, he's not just another piece on the chessboard. He's the force that comes in and flips the entire board over. The galaxy literally doesn't even have the words to describe what he is. And you can really see it when you break it down like this. Look, the Jedi and the Sith, they're basically two sides of the same coin, right? The Force. Their power, their motivations, their weaknesses, it's all tied to it. But then you look at Superman's column, and it's completely different. His power, a sun. His motivation, pure hope. And his vulnerability, well, it just doesn't exist within their system. He is operating on a totally different axis. And this is the absolute heart of it all. He doesn't use the Force. He isn't some kind of weird glitch within it. The Force itself, the very energy field that binds the galaxy together, has to actively move around him. He's like a metaphysical island that the cosmic river just cannot touch. So, okay, how does a galaxy built entirely on the Force react to something impossible like this? Well, its two biggest powers, the Jedi and the Sith, are thrown into complete chaos, but in very, very different ways. And this contrast is just fascinating. The Jedi, they're trapped by their own dogma, completely paralyzed, trying to shove this square peg into a round hole. But Palpatine, the master manipulator, he sees the truth instantly. For him, it's not about power, it's about a lack of control. And that terrifies him. This is what the Jedi Masters feel when they try to, read him with the Force. They reach out and they hit a brick wall. Can you imagine that? Your entire religion, your whole understanding of the universe, just invalidated in a single moment. We're talking about a crisis of faith on a galactic scale. Meanwhile, the Emperor is running through this chillingly simple, perfect logic. 1, he can't be tempted by the dark side. 2, he can't be manipulated or controlled through the Force, which leads to the absolutely devastating conclusion: he breaks the fundamental rules Palpatine has used to dominate the galaxy. His entire playbook is now totally useless. And so, what does the Emperor do? He does nothing. The most powerful, manipulative being in the galaxy hides. And look, this isn't him being a coward. It is the only rational move you can make when you realize the game you've mastered is officially over. So while the old powers are scrambling, what's Superman actually doing? Well, this is where the real revolution starts. Because he doesn't just have a different kind of power, he introduces a completely new idea of what power even is. Just picture his first intervention, right? Some pirates are attacking a settlement, the usual chaos and violence of the Outer Rim, and then silence. Blaster bolts just stop. They hang in the air, completely frozen. A pirate frigate up in orbit, ready to bombard the town, suddenly just crumples. But not with a big fiery explosion. No, it's crushed inward, gently and precisely, like a soda can in an invisible fist. And this is what changes everything. There's no anger, there's no passion, no dark side rage. There is only calm, absolute control. It's a demonstration of power so immense, yet so restrained, that the galaxy has absolutely no frame of reference for it.
And through that single action, he proves a thesis that just shatters the foundation of the Empire and the Sith. In a galaxy that's been defined by a constant struggle for control, he demonstrates that true strength isn't about dominating others. It's about protecting them. And this one idea, power without domination, it doesn't just win a battle. It kicks off a domino effect that permanently reshapes the entire galactic landscape. The old ways, they're over.
Just look at the fallout. Institutions built on fear, like slavery, they can't survive when people see a power greater than the Empire's being used to protect them. The Jedi, they have to evolve or become totally irrelevant. The Sith lose their main weapons, fear and corruption. And the biggest one? The Force is demoted. It's just not the be-all and end-all of cosmic power anymore.
The whole goal for the Jedi was always balance. But Superman doesn't bring balance. He brings something way more disruptive. He brings accountability. Because for the first time, there's an external check on the system itself. And this is why everything changes. He could be the new emperor. He could be a new god. But he refuses. And by just rejecting the throne, he breaks the cycle that has always defined this galaxy. The idea that ultimate power must lead to ultimate control. And that leaves us with this final, staggering question. When the fundamental truth that has governed a reality for thousands of years is suddenly proven false, what's left? What does a galaxy built entirely around the Force do when the Force is no longer the ultimate game in town?